The top stories tonight in Y News. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is slated to undertake a significant diplomatic itinerary with a working visit to Germany and a state visit to the Czech Republic scheduled for next week. House Speaker Martin Romualdez shares his confidence in Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri's ability to garner sufficient votes to pass the economic charter change. A senator defends his decision to withdraw his signature in objecting to the contempt ruling against religious group leader Apollo Kibuloy. And we will discover why United States President Joe Biden announced that the U.S. military will build a port on Gaza's Mediterranean coast. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Friday, March 8, 2024. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Hardy Delgado. First in the news. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is scheduled to have a working and state visit in Germany and the Czech Republic, respectively, next week. Dante Amento tells us why.
To strengthen the bilateral relations and cooperation with Germany and Czech Republic, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and some government officials will visit those European countries next week. From March 12 to 13, PBBM will have a working visit in Germany, where an agreement to boost the maritime sector will be signed.
This is more on the commercial side. So it's facilitating the movement of maritime trade. And you know very well that 1/3 of the seafarers around the world are Filipinos. And a robust shipping industry in the Philippines and in worldwide will be good for the employment of seafarers, Filipino seafarers.
Meanwhile, from March 14 to 15, the chief executive will meet the government officials of Czech Republic in his working visit. Another agreement for the labor sector will also be inked to benefit Filipino migrants and workers.
The Czech Republic has expressed its interest to encourage more Filipinos to participate in the labor market. In fact, they have announced a yearly quota for Filipinos starting this May of 10,000 Filipinos who may enter the Czech Republic for work.
The president will also attend business forum with some prominent business leaders. The chief executive is expected to showcase the opportunities for German and Czech Republic companies to invest in the Philippines. Dante Amento, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
House Speaker Martin Romualdez shared his confidence that Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri will gather enough votes to pass the economic charter change. He made this statement after the Senate leadership admitted that obtaining a majority vote for the proposed constitutional amendments is a significant challenge. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
House Speaker Martin Romualdez believes in the leadership of his counterpart, Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri. This is in relation to the proposed amendments on the economic provisions of the Constitution.
Ako naniniwala ko sa liderato ng Senado, lalo kay SP Mig Zubiri, na kakayanin niya lahat at ikukumbinsin niya lahat ng mga kasama niyan sa Senate.
President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. himself stated that the Senate should lead in the proposed economic chacha. However, recently, Senate President Zubiri admitted that it is a significant challenge in the Senate to gather enough votes to pass resolution of both houses number 6, the Senate version of the economic chacha.
We understand the challenges, pero the Senate has always lived up to the challenges. Magaling mga senador natin, and I know that they know what's good for the Filipino people.
The fate of the economic chacha in the Senate is uncertain, while in the House, plenary debates on the proposed economic amendments will commence next week. Meanwhile, former Senator Gringo Honasan suggested holding a dialogue between the Senate and the House of Representatives regarding the economic chacha. He said that conflicting versions of the economic amendments to the 1987 Constitution could be discussed in such a dialogue. This includes the issue of whether Congress members will vote together or separately.
Wala hong masama na mag-usap-usap tayo. We have to do this together. We are exposing our strengths and weaknesses as a young democracy to temporary friends and allies.
Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Former Senator Antonio Sonny Trillanes has clarified that the push to continue the investigation by the International Criminal Court or ICC regarding the drug war in the Philippines is not driven by personal issues with former President Rodrigo Duterte. Instead, it aims to ensure justice for those affected by the drug war and to serve as a warning to others. Trillanes emphasized that the importance of revealing the truth about the past administration's actions regarding the fight against illegal drugs once the ICC issues a warrant of arrest against Duterte. He noted that the investigation is already concluded and the ICC has obtained the necessary information. According to Trillanes, the quantity of evidence collected makes it an easy case for the ICC to pursue. He anticipates that the warrant of arrest for Duterte may be issued by the middle of the year.
Ginagawa natin ito para hindi na to maulit in the future. Na walang mag-aspire na, let's say, aspiring na politiko dyan na pagka naging presidente someday, sasabihin niya, gawin ko nga, i-purge ko nga itong mga society na walang consequence because they believe they can. Diba? So, kailangan maparusahan ito si Duterte para magtanda lahat ng mga iyan. Marami tayong mga paraan para makalap yung impormasyon na yan. Yun po, ang tansya, late second quarter of this year.
A lawmaker defends his decision to withdraw his signature in objecting to the contempt ruling against religious group leader Apollo Kibuloy. Meanwhile, another lawmaker doubts that the religious leader is capable of doing such alleged abuses. This report will tell us why. A day after withdrawing his signature and objecting the contempt ruling against Kingdom of Jesus Christ leader Apollo Kibuloy, Senator J.V. Ejercito says the decision was born out of several factors and not because of the hate comments that he received. Ejercito was among the senators that initially signed for Senator Robin Padilla's written objection, which drew flack from netizens.
So, wala namang masama doon kung i-correct mo yung sarili mo, kung magbago ka ng decision. We are all human. And public perception is secondary. What is important is doing the right thing, di ba? So, tao lang naman po tayo nagbabago rin ang isip natin. There are certain factors. So, I did not withdraw because of bashing. Sanay na ako dyan. It's a matter of doing the right thing.
He explains one of the main reasons that convinced him to retract was after Senate Deputy Minority Leader Risa Hontiveros agreed to consider allowing Kibuloy to appear before the Senate panel via video conference. This as he stresses his concerns on potential security risks should the religious group leader be arrested and detained in the Senate.
I think that will be more practical. As long as sabi nga ni Sir Risa, as long as he acknowledges the committee. Nag-alala din ako sa di ba? Sa safety issue, sa security, sa mangyayari. So, syempre, may followers yan di ba? Mahirap kasi pag religion, may mga fanatics dyan. Di ba, nakita nyo naman siguro outside the Senate, sa liwasan, mga nagra-rally yung supporters niya. So, pag ganong may crowd kasi, anything can happen. Pag may nagkantsawan or
For his part, Padilla says he respects Ejercito's decision. Meanwhile, for Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa, the Senate probe is becoming political.
Nagiging political nagiging political. It's becoming political already dahil andyan naman yung kaso. Sige nga, mag-isip kayo. anong in aid of legislation na makukuha natin dyan sa pag-imbestiga niya kung nakapile ang kaso. Meron bang pagkakamali ang DOJ sa kanilang ginagawang investigasyon at pwede natin makorek through legislation.
De La Rosa, a friend of Kibuloy, being a fellow Davaoeño, is unconvinced that the religious group leader is capable of doing the alleged abuses.
Tao lang tayo, di ba? Nobody's perfect, no? Tao tayo, pwede tayo magkamali. Ang impresyon ko sa kanya is respetado siyang tao at hindi niya kayang gawin yung mga ganun na kababuyan na ina-allege sa kanya. Sa pagtingin ko sa kanya, hindi ko naman siya napupantayan 24 hours. Pero if you ask my opinion about him, he is highly respected. Ako mismo, humahanga sa kanya. He is the son of God. So, least expected ko sa kanya na gumawa ng ganong offense.
Hontiveros, who heads the Senate Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations and Gender Equality that is leading the investigation into Kibuloy's alleged abuses, has yet to comment on her colleague's latest remarks. Jorge Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And for the news abroad, Sweden officially became a member of North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO, on Thursday, March 7, marking a significant shift in its national security strategy following Russia's invasion of Ukraine 2 years ago. Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson completed the final steps of the accession process by submitting the necessary documents to the United States government in Washington. The decision to join NATO was prompted by Sweden's reassessment of its security posture in the wake of Russia's aggression, leading to a realization that aligning with the alliance was crucial for safeguarding the nation's safety. The U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken acknowledged the prolonged process upon receiving Sweden's documents. He emphasized the seismic change in Swedish public opinion after Russia's invasion of Ukraine, recognizing the necessity to join NATO for enhanced security. In response to the accession, President Joe Biden praised Sweden's decision, noting that it enhances NATO's unity and capabilities as Sweden's addition brings advanced military assets such as submarines and Gripen fighter jets. Meanwhile, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg hailed Sweden's accession as a reinforcement of the alliance's strength and security. However, Russia has expressed discontent, threatening unspecified countermeasures in response to Sweden's move. We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to Harleen.
Thank you, Marvi. For those watching or live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. In the aftermath of the harrowing attack by Houthi rebels on a shipping vessel in the Gulf of Aden, the 3 Filipino crew members who were wounded in the attack are now in stable condition. However, amidst this glimmer of hope, the search continues for the 2 Filipino sailors who tragically lost their lives in the attack. Jed Medicina details why.
Yesterday, March 7, Department of Migrant Workers Officer Hans Leo Kakdak provided an update on the 10 Filipino crew members who survived the missile attack launched by the Houthi rebels on a shipping vessel in the Gulf of Aden. He confirmed that they are all in good condition, offering a sigh of relief amidst the turmoil. Additionally, Kakdak informed that the 3 other Filipino crew members who sustained injuries during the incident are also in stable condition. They are currently receiving continuous treatment at Djibouti Hospital, ensuring that they receive the necessary care for their recovery. The Department of Migrant Workers stands ready to conduct an emergency repatriation of the crew members, allowing them to return to the country immediately should they wish to do so.
They are all in stable condition. They are recovering and are in stable condition, and they can be repatriated soon as long as there is a medically fit to fly certificate forthcoming from the medical authorities in Djibouti, and most likely this will be a medical repatriation process that they will all go through.
However, the search for the remains of the 2 Filipino crew members who tragically lost their lives in the attack is expected to be challenging.
Magiging hamon din yung pag-recover ng labi. Kaya't pagdarasal pa rin natin na maisagawa ito ng maayos. Dahil as of 4 p.m. kahapon, may sunog pa sa barko na tinutupok. So, may challenge talaga yung pag-salvage at yung paghanap ng labi doon sa barko.
Kakdak reported that salvage operations are scheduled for today, aiming to retrieve the bodies of the deceased crew members along with that of a Vietnamese national.
Inaasahan natin na within today magkakaroon ng significant na pag-uulat ang shipping company, ang ship owner patungkol dito.
The missile strike targeted the fuel section of the ship, leading to an immediate fire outbreak in the vicinity where the casualties were located as clarified by Kakdak.
Nung nakapanayam ko yung mga tripulante kagabi, ang sabi ay nando doon sa area ng cabin area at ng mess hall yung tinamaan at nando doon yung dalawa. And engulfed in flames, yan ang exact word sa report. The place where they were sa barko was engulfed in flames at mahirap puntahan nung panahon na may emergency evacuation.
Amidst these developments, the Department of Migrant Workers assured that the government stands ready to provide assistance to the families of the Filipino crew members, especially those who lost loved ones.
Rest assured, we have communicated with the families of the 2 seafarers and meron ng assurances, fullest support and assistance, hand-holding throughout this difficult process that they are going through. And these are all based also on the directive of the President, who has given us a very, very clear signal and directive.
The wife of one of the injured crew members expressed gratitude for the ongoing updates on her husband's condition, easing her anxiety during this trying time.
At ngayon, kasalukuyan ng ginagamot sa Djibouti hospital yung aking asawa at nasa mabuting kalagayan na rin. At yung sabi, out of danger na rin po yung kanyang kondisyon. So maraming salamat sa agarang pagresponde.
The agency remains vigilant, closely monitoring the situation and developments in Djibouti while also awaiting the results of the ongoing investigations by maritime security forces and the International Maritime Organization regarding the incident. Jed Neresina, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
With the Philippine National Railways or PNR operations set to halt for the next 5 years, the Department of Transportation has taken proactive steps to address the needs of affected commuters. The agency has announced the opening of a new bus routes from Tutuban to Alabang and Muntinlupa. JP Dueñas will tell us why.
20,000 up to 25,000 commuters of the Philippine National Railways in Metro Manila are expected to be affected by the halt of its operation starting March 28. In order to give passengers access to their destinations, the Department of Transportation will provide new bus trips which will cover routes previously covered by the PNR. PNR posted the schedule of new bus trips, proposed bus stops, and schedule of trips to their Facebook page. When the PNR stations in Metro Manila stops operation, bus trips will start to carry passengers from Tutuban in Manila up to Alabang in Muntinlupa. Fare from buses will start at 15 pesos and there will be additional 2 pesos and 26 centavos for distance fare. According to regular passengers of the PNR, it will be additional expenses for them if they will transfer to other modes of transportation. It will also mean longer travel time for them because unlike PNR, buses or jeepneys may be stuck in heavy traffic.
Wala tayong magagawa, ganun lang. Mag-jeep na lang, mas mabilis ito eh. At saka pagdating mo doon, malapit ka na sa uwian mo.
O di mahirapan yung mga tao, mahirapan lahat ng sumasakay ng PNR, mahirapan. Kasi wala nang diretso na sasakyan, matatraffic pa.
So dati po kasi kung wala po akong naaabot ng PNR, jeep lang talaga or bus ang sinasakay ko. So yun na lang din gagawin ko po.
Ito kasi mura, diretso na. 120 pesos, malayo na yun eh. Pag nag-MRT, LRT ako, nakakabalikan 100 or ganun. Dito, kung 20 papunta, 20 pabalik. Mas mura siya.
When the PNR resumes operations after 5 years of halt, it is expected to give passengers a safer, more convenient, and more comfortable travel experience. The North-South Commuter Railway Project or NSCR will connect trips from Clark, Pampanga up to Calamba, Laguna.
Ang susunod na biyahe ng PNR, makikita po na ating mga kababayan, ibang PNR na. Nasa taas na po, elevated na po, katulad ng Line 1, Line 2 at Line 3. Mas mabilis, mas modelo, hindi na po mechanical kundi electric trains na po.
Meanwhile, train sets of PNR in Metro Manila stations will be transferred to PNR rails in Bicol. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The opposition has already unveiled a roster of personalities set to represent their party in the 2025 midterm elections. But perhaps the most significant revelation comes with the introduction of Senator Risa Hontiveros as their new leader. Jed Neresina details why.
Former Senator Antonio Sonny Trillanes IV gave no information if the opposition has any plan for the presidential elections. But Trillanes introduced Senator Risa Hontiveros as their current leader.
Masyadong malayo na yon, pero sa ngayon, yung grupo namin ay, ang leader namin ay si Senator Risa Hontiveros.
He then mentioned that some personalities are being eyed by the opposition to be their candidates in the 2025 midterm elections. According to Trillanes, former Senators Kiko Pangilinan and Bam Aquino will run for the Senate again, while human rights lawyer and former senatorial bet attorney Shel Jokno will try again to get a seat in the Senate. Former Senator Trillanes is more likely to run for the local position.
The plan is to run for a local position as mayor of Caloocan. Hindi pa formal yung announcement, but the plan is leaning towards that.
Jed Neresina, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
On Friday, March 8, Secretary Rex Gatchalian of the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, led the rollout of the expanded implementation of the agency's Tarabasa tutoring program in Cebu City. This initiative marks a significant step forward in addressing educational challenges and providing support to struggling elementary students. The Tarabasa tutoring program has garnered success by assisting struggling and non-reader elementary students through its 20-day after-school reading sessions component. Secretary Gatchalian highlighted the program's achievements during the rollout event, emphasizing its positive
Secretary Gatchalian highlighted the program's achievements during the rollout event, emphasizing its positive impact on students' learning outcomes. Expanding beyond Cebu City, the Tarabasa tutoring program will also be implemented in various areas, including Bulacan Province, Malolo City, Quezon Province, Western Samar, Taraca and Marawi in Lanao del Sur, and General Santos City. Additionally, the program will continue to be implemented in the National Capital Region, or NCR. The Tarabasa tutoring program represents a reformed educational assistance initiative of the DSWD, creating an ecosystem of learning where college students are capacitated and deployed as tutors to teach poor and struggling readers in elementary schools. Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD Assistant Secretary for Strategic Communications Romel Lopez explained the proper handling and management of cases involving children in conflict with the law, or CICL. According to Assistant Secretary Lopez, there are established procedures for the handling and management of CICL cases in accordance with the provisions of Republic Act No. 9344 as amended by RA No. 10630, also known as the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act. For children aged 12 and above but below 15 who have committed serious offenses, they will be placed in Bahay Pag-asa and will be under the care and supervision of a special unit called Intensive Juvenile Intervention and Support Care. For children aged 15 and above but below 18 at the time of the offense, the local Social Welfare and Development Office will assess whether the CICL has acted with discernment. If the child is found to have acted with discernment and the penalty for the offense is more than 12 years of imprisonment, a case will be filed against the child in court. The Juvenile Justice and Welfare Council is an attached agency of the DSWD tasked with monitoring the implementation of the JJWA as amended.
Hindi ibig sabihin na fully exonerated sa kaso dahil minor de edad ka. Hindi po, may pananagutan pa rin po ang minor de edad. At sinisito itiyan ng local government through the LSWDO.
In other global news, United States President Joe Biden delivered a fiery 68-minute State of the Union speech on Thursday. As expected, he announced that the U.S. military will build a port on Gaza's Mediterranean coast to allow entry of humanitarian assistance by sea. Kat Dumaraos will tell us why.
United States President Joe Biden used his State of the Union address as a case for re-election, accusing former President Donald Trump of threatening democracy, kowtowing to Russia, and torpedoing a bill to tackle U.S. immigration woes. He announced during his speech that U.S. military will build a temporary port on Gaza's Mediterranean coast to allow humanitarian aid deliveries by sea. It is not expected that U.S. personnel will be deployed in Gaza. The announcement seems to be a step to assuage anger within the Democratic Party over his support of Israel's offensive in Gaza. United Nations warnings of widespread famine among 2.3 million Palestinians in the enclave prompted Mr. Biden to order the construction of the temporary port. The president told Congress that he is directing the military to lead an emergency mission to set up a pier on the Gaza coast for receiving ships carrying food, water, medicines, and temporary shelters. Israel supports the deployment of the temporary dock, according to an Israeli official. Meanwhile, UN Humanitarian and Reconstruction Coordinator for Gaza, Sigrid Kaag, welcomed Washington joining the maritime corridor initiated by Cyprus to deliver goods to Gaza. The operation would increase humanitarian assistance to Palestinians. However, she emphasized that air and sea are not a substitute for land. Israel is already allowing an increased number of aid-bearing trucks into Gaza, along with some countries airdropping supplies. The assistance getting in, however, is still insufficient. The operation builds on a Cypriot initiative to gather humanitarian aid in Larnaca, 210 nautical miles from Gaza. From there, it would permit Israeli officials to screen shipments before being allowed into the enclave. While the temporary dock will be initially run by the military, Washington envisions it will become a commercial facility in the future. Kat Maraos, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Marvi Delfin, live from Australia. Good evening.
Our kasambahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
And before we close, we will leave you with a word, giving glory to God. From the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verses 7 to 8. It says, "Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is. For he shall be a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit." And those are the reasons behind the news March 8, 2024. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. Because we need to know, we will always ask why. I'm Hardin Delgado. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
This is more on the commercial side. So it's facilitating the movement of maritime trade. And you know very well that 1/3 of the seafarers around the world are Filipinos. And a robust shipping industry in the Philippines and in worldwide will be good for the employment of seafarers, Filipino seafarers.
Ako naniniwala ko sa liderato ng Senado, lalo kay SP Mig Subiri, na kakayanin niya lahat at ikukumbinsin niya lahat ng mga kasama niyan sa Senate. We understand the challenges, pero the Senate has always lived up to the challenges. Magaling mga senador natin, and I know that they know what's good for the Filipino people.
Ginagawa natin ito para hindi na to maulit in the future. Na wala mag-aspire na, let's say, aspiring na politiko dyan na pagka naging presidente someday, sasabihin niya, gawin ko nga, i-purge ko nga itong mga society na walang consequence because they believe they can. Diba? So kailangan maparusahan ito si Duterte para magtanda lahat ng mga iyan. Marami tayong mga paraan para makalap yung informasyon na yan. Yun po ang tansya, late second quarter of this year.
So, wala namang masama doon kung i-correct mo yung sarili mo, kung magbago ka ng decision. We are all human. And public perception is secondary. What is important is doing the right thing, di ba? So, tao lang naman po tayo nagbabago rin ang isip natin. There are certain factors. So, I did not withdraw because of bashing. Sanay na ako dyan. It's a matter of doing the right thing.
Ang susunod na biyahe ng PNR, makikita po na ating mga kababayan, ibang PNR na nasa taas na po, elevated na po, katulad ng Line 1, Line 2 at Line 3. Mas mabilis, mas modelo, hindi na po mechanical, kundi electric trains na po.
Masyadong malayo na yon, pero sa ngayon, yung grupo namin, ang leader namin ay si Senator Risa Ontiveros. The plan is to run for a local position as mayor of Caloocan. Hindi pa formal yung announcement, but the plan is